I was slicing lemons for my iced tea when the doorbell rang, a sharp, insistent chime that cut through the soft jazz playing in my kitchen. I glanced at the clock. 3:14 p.m. I wasn't expecting anyone. The gardeners came on Fridays, and the housekeeper had already left for the day. The bell rang again, longer, louder. When I opened the door, I froze. There they were, my family. My father with his stiff posture and forced smile. My mother clutching her pearls like a nervous tick. My sister, Alina, whose eyes darted across the marble foyer as if measuring the value of every item in sight. And behind them, my brother Ray. His expression unreadable, but I could feel the tension simmering beneath his silence. It had been 12 years since any of them had stepped foot in my life. 12 years since they last invited me to anything. Birthdays, weddings, holidays. I had become the family ghost, the one they whispered about but never acknowledged. And now, suddenly they were standing at my door. "Daniel," my mother said, voice trembling between guilt and forced warmth. "You look well." I almost laughed. Well, I look successful. The mansion, the imported car in the driveway, the ocean view. It all screamed of the life they once said I'd never achieve. "What brings you here?" I asked, my tone calm but sharp enough to slice the awkward silence. My father cleared his throat. "Can we come in? We have something important to discuss." Something about his tone made my stomach twist. But curiosity, mixed with a lifetime of wanting answers, won. "Sure," I said, stepping aside. "Come in." They moved through my house like tourists in a museum. My mother's eyes traced the chandelier. Alina whispered something to Ray, and they both smirked. I gestured to the living room. "So, what's this about?" My father didn't sit. "We wanted to apologize for the way we treated you." That word, apologize, landed like a stone in my chest. He continued, "You were always different, ambitious, stubborn. We didn't understand your choices back then." My throat tightened. Back then referred to the day they disowned me, when I refused to take over the family's failing hardware business and instead pursued my own startup. They called me selfish, arrogant. My mother told me I'd regret abandoning my roots. My father said I was dead to him. And now here they were. "Why now?" I asked quietly. My mother looked down. "Because things have changed." Her tone was too careful, too rehearsed. I leaned forward. "Changed how?" Alina finally spoke. "Dad's business is gone, Daniel. We lost everything." The words hung heavy in the air. My pulse quickened, not with pity but with something darker. So that's why they're here. 12 years of silence. Now suddenly I was useful. I sat back, crossing my arms. "So you came here for money?" "No," my father snapped too quickly. "Not exactly." That exactly made me suspicious. "Then why?" Ray, who hadn't spoken until now, muttered, "You should ask your wife." My heart stopped. "What?" He glanced at the floor. "We've known her for a while." I turned toward the stairs instinctively, half expecting her to appear. But she didn't. The only sound was the faint ticking of the clock on the mantel. My father sighed, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "We didn't want to tell you this way, but you deserve to know." "Know what?" My voice cracked. My mother hesitated. "Daniel, Claire's been visiting us. 4 years. For a moment I couldn't breathe. My wife, Claire, had met my family before. She knew what they'd done, how they'd cut me off. I had told her every painful detail. And she'd comforted me, told me I didn't need them, that she was my family now. My voice shook. "You're lying." Alina rolled her eyes. "You think we'd drive all the way here to lie? Check her messages, her emails. She's been helping us financially since before your company blew up." I stumbled backward, my mind spinning. Claire, who said she supported me when no one else did, had been supporting them? "Why?" I whispered. "Ask her," Ray said coldly. "We thought you knew." I didn't remember walking up the stairs. My body just moved like something primal was steering me. When I reached our bedroom, the scent of her perfume hit me, a soft vanilla with something bitter underneath. I opened her vanity drawer, and my hand brushed against an envelope. Inside, bank receipts. Thousands of dollars transferred to RM Holdings, my father's company. A sound escaped my throat. Half laugh, half sob. Behind me the door creaked. Claire stood there, eyes wide, color draining from her face. "Daniel," she breathed. "I can explain." "Can you?" I said, my voice trembling but steady. "Because I think the receipts speak for themselves." Tears welled in her eyes. "Your family was struggling. I just wanted to help. You helped the people who destroyed me." She took a step closer. "I did it for you. You always said you wished things were different, that you wanted to reconcile someday. So you went behind my back." She swallowed hard. "They told me they were trying to make things right. I thought if I could bridge the gap. By lying to me." Her lip quivered. "I didn't know how to tell you." "You didn't want to tell me," I said quietly. "You wanted to play savior." For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The silence felt alive, pulsing between us. Finally I said, "Get out. Daniel. Get out." That night, I sat alone in the living room, the moonlight spilling across the marble floor. My family had left. Claire had too. But her perfume still lingered. On the coffee table my phone buzzed. A new message, from an unknown number. "She didn't tell you everything." I stared at the text, heart pounding. Before I could respond, another message arrived. A photo. It was my father, my wife, together, smiling. And behind them our home. The timestamp. 6 months ago. I dropped the phone. The room spun, every breath scraping against the raw edges of betrayal. For years, I'd thought I was alone because of them. I'd built everything, my success, my empire, to prove I didn't need anyone. But the truth was crueler than that. I hadn't been alone. I'd been surrounded by liars. The next morning I called my lawyer. I filed for divorce, changed my will, and blocked every number that bore my family name. As I watched the ocean shimmer beyond the glass walls of my house, I realized something. They hadn't just shown up at my door that day to take money. They'd come to collect the last piece of me they hadn't already broken. But they didn't know. I'd already rebuilt myself from the ashes they left behind. And this time I wasn't giving them a single ember.